talking to yourself in your head right now. You're doing it. Even reading this sentence, some part of your brain is saying the words. Now here's the part that breaks people's minds. Up to 50% of people don't do this at all, ever. No inner monologue, no voice narrating their thoughts, nothing. And until a few years ago, most of them didn't even know they were different. They assumed hearing yourself think was just a figure of speech, a metaphor, not something other people literally experience.
So let's stop and think about what that means. Two people can sit in the same room, live the same life, and think in completely different ways. One person's mind sounds like a constant narrator. The other person's mind is silent. No sentences, just thoughts appearing, fully formed, and disappearing. Scientists have a name for this: anendophasia, the absence of inner speech.
Researchers once believed inner speech was simply how thinking worked, the default setting of the human brain. But brain scans changed everything. When people with an inner voice think in words, a region called Broca's area becomes active. This is the same part of the brain used for speaking out loud. Your brain is literally rehearsing speech internally, silently activating your speech system without making a sound. People without an inner voice show very little activity in this region. Their thoughts don't pass through language at all.
So, how do they think? This is where it becomes even more fascinating. People without inner speech often describe thinking in images, in feelings, in abstract impressions that arrive already complete. Some describe it as thinking in concepts instead of words. Imagine solving a math problem without talking yourself through each step. The answer simply appears. No narration required.
It sounds almost superhuman, but there is a trade-off. Psychologist Russell Hurlburt spent decades studying people's inner experiences. His research found that people without an inner voice often struggle more with tasks that require verbal rehearsal. For example, remembering a phone number by repeating it silently. Without an internal voice, that mental loop doesn't exist. Instead, their brains rely on visual memory, pattern recognition, and completely different strategies.
That raises a much bigger question. If some people go through life without narrating their thoughts, what is your inner voice actually doing? Quite a lot. Research shows inner speech helps regulate emotions. It helps you make plans. It helps you rehearse difficult conversations before they happen. Ever argued with someone in the shower who wasn't even there? That's your inner voice running simulations, testing possible outcomes, preparing you for situations that haven't happened yet.
Psychologists call this self-talk, and it isn't just background noise. It's a mental tool. Athletes use it to improve performance. Research shows that giving yourself silent or spoken instructions can improve focus and motor control. In one study, participants completed a dart throwing task. Those who used instructional self-talk performed better than those who stayed silent. Your inner voice isn't just narrating your life, it's coaching you through it.
But the story changes. The same inner voice that helps you prepare can also work against you. It's responsible for rumination, for anxiety spirals, for replaying an embarrassing moment from 10 years ago at 2 a.m. Researchers have linked excessive inner speech with higher levels of anxiety and depression. The same mental tool that prepares you for success can trap you in endless self-criticism. For centuries, philosophers believed inner speech was necessary for thought itself. Descartes' famous idea, "I think, therefore I am," assumed thinking was an internal verbal process. Anendophasia challenges that assumption. Thought does not require language. Language is simply one interface for thought. Your inner voice is not your mind. It is a translator that converts raw thought into words, mostly for your own benefit.
Some brains skip the translation step completely. They think in pure concepts and only convert those thoughts into language when they need to speak or write. Others narrate nearly every thought. Neither way is more intelligent. They're simply different operating systems running on the same hardware. So here's the idea to remember. Your inner voice feels like who you are, but it's only one tool your brain uses. Many people think brilliantly without it. The real mystery isn't why some people hear an inner voice. It's why we ever assumed everyone did. So which one are you? Do you hear a voice reading these words, or did the meaning simply appear? Tell me in the comments. And if this changed the way you think about thinking, like the video and subscribe for more fascinating psychology and neuroscience.